Something else that we're going to be talking about, not just right now, but over the course of the hour, is how to take care of people who are most in need. In particular, we have been seeing long lines at food banks across the nation as people whose incomes were already perhaps jeopardized or are now being jeopardized are trying to get their families fed. We're joined now by Brian Hannasch. He is Alimentation Couche-Tard president and CEO, as well as Claire Babineaux-Fontenot. She is the CEO of Feeding America. These two have teamed up, and Brian's company also owns Circle K, which is a chain of gas station convenience stores around the world. They've teamed up to try to get more people fed. Brian, I want to start with you. How exactly does this partnership work, and how much money is the company pledging for these efforts? Brian, you might have to unmute yourself. Apologies. Let's see here. It seems like Brian might be having a tricky time here. Claire, do you want to try and unmute yourself? The perils of technology that we are all have been dealing with. Claire, let's start with you then. As I mentioned, we've been seeing long lines for food banks across the country. How do you deal with that issue of just dealing with what I assume is unprecedented demand?
Well, your assumption is correct. The demand is absolutely unprecedented. In fact, our team has attempted to quantify the 6-month impact, which we really believe is a conservative estimate, just on our network and our ability to feed the people who are reaching out to us for help. And our quantification is that it's about a $1.4 billion increase over 6 months. We expect at least 17 million additional people reaching out to us for help as a result of this crisis. So it's quite a big challenge. And directly to your question, we have been working hard with key partners, one of whom I'm so pleased that I have the opportunity to share some time with today is Brian and Circle K. And partners like Circle K are stepping up and helping to generate some funds that's much needed right now, that those funds then translate into a better opportunity to buy food in an environment where, unfortunately, with this increased demand, we've had a decrease in donations. So when your audience sees that the shelves at retailers are laid bare, then those retailers who in normal times are the number one source of food for our whole network system, those retailers are not well positioned to provide us with donations. So partnerships like the one with Circle K are absolutely critical to us being able to help people right now when they need us the most.
Brian, it's Adam Shapiro, and I think Julie was trying to ask you, how is Circle K going to help fund Feeding America?
Yeah, we're very pleased to have a partnership. For any purchase of fuel, any quantity, we commit to providing a meal for someone in need. You know, we're a very local business. We service neighborhoods, we service communities, and people need our help right now. As Claire said, there's been a huge spike. That money will stay local with the help of Feeding America to facilitate that money getting to the local food banks. We've committed to 25 million meals. We'd love America to help us deliver more. So again, any transaction at any of our locations to purchase any quantity of fuel or go to our website, we'd be happy to make this even bigger.
Claire, I just want to ask how, when providing meals to individuals, do you ensure that the virus doesn't spread among folks visiting food banks? I mean, I guess that would, kind of exacerbate the problem dramatically.
It absolutely would. So we have had to just put our method for getting food to people. We've had to change the whole apparatus, basically. So in each of the food banks, and the audience may be aware, but we have 200 food banks located across the United States. This is one of the reasons that we can partner with a team like Brian's and be able to ensure that dollars spent go directly into those local communities, is because we serve all communities across the United States. And what we're doing is we're following the guidelines that we receive. We update those guidelines on a regular basis. We actually have a team of professionals both inside of our national office operations as well as across the whole fleet of members across the United States and we update regularly what best practices are. We make certain that it's data informed, and then we execute against that. So one example, for instance, is that it was routine for someone in need of our services to show up sometimes as members of a large family. They come in, they seek food, we provide them with the food, and they leave. Lots of interaction among people. Today, that doesn't happen. So one thing is we ask that people come to the extent possible in singles, so that if they're going to do any walk up at all, so that we can reduce the amount of contact. Another thing that we're doing a lot that you're seeing with those cars that are lined up, they're typically lined up for drive-through pickup services, where we're providing the food in practicing social separation best practices, putting the food in the back of the car and allowing that family to move on, hopefully protecting the family itself and also protecting the people inside of our network who are out there really trying to help them.
And Brian, for your part, you all are also operating all of your locations. I assume all of them have been deemed essential services, not just in the United States, but around the globe. You have locations. And so what kind, I know there has been sort of differing standards at different chains that are interacting with the public. Are you requiring your folks wear masks and gloves, for example? And have you seen an increase in sales, not necessarily of fuel, but of other items at this time?
First, it is a very fluid situation. Across the world, there are different rules and regulations and guidelines in place. Our first and foremost goal is to keep our customers and employees safe. So, globally, we've got plastic shields, for example, between the customer and our employees at the checkout, enhanced cleaning schedules. We're doing a lot of things too. We've got masks available for all of our employees for their use, depending on, again, local guidance or even government guidance. So doing a lot of things to make sure that we keep our employees safe, our customers safe, and that we're there for the communities. Our business is off significantly as people are staying home, but we still are there for the frontline people that are helping this economy go, helping us be fed, and helping people like Claire's organization stay in business.
Right. And I saw also that you're offering free coffee and tea to those folks who are the frontline workers. Brian, thank you so much. Claire as well. Thank you both for all that you're doing amidst this. Brian Hannasch is the CEO and president of Alimentation Couche-Tard, which owns Circle K. And Claire Babineaux-Fontenot is the CEO of Feeding America. Thanks to you both. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.